All right, first driving the X3 M40. All right, so notice first thing I noticed when I get in here is the start button is not where I used to be. It used to be up here next to the instrument cluster. So now I'm gonna have to go down below where the shifter is, which is not a bad thing. You know, I think my Q7 was like this. So, you know, so you're putting the brake, and my favorite part is the cold start. Let's see. Next thing I noticed is obviously the BMW chime has changed quite a bit. I think they maybe changed that in 2018. Got a nice little bark when it comes to life. I was hoping for a little bit more of a rum, you know, when it comes to, because I remember the pre-LCI X3 M40s always had that. It was a very, I would say I would hear it before I would see it. I could be driving down the road and I would just happen to hear just a throaty exhaust, and I'm like, where's this coming from? Looked over and it's coming from the SUV next to me. Now, I don't know, this could change. Obviously, this is a brand new vehicle, only has 400 miles on it at this time. I think Lexi's been, you know, we had it for almost, has it been a month? Maybe a month, but obviously she's been driving it. But now that the baby's born, I'm actually gonna take the car, get the windows tinted. She's got family here to kind of help her right real quick, and I thought I'd take this opportunity. So let's get going. So very similar shifter. Put it here in reverse. You know what? Let me get sunglasses before I do anything else. Pause this. Also, just take a look around. If you're new to the channel, here's the X3 M40. That's how it looks. Did videos on this already, but if you're just a first time tuning in to see what it looks like. Finally got our plates now. So, which reminds me, I could probably go ahead and remove our registration sticker. Also, if you haven't seen, Type R still here. Type R still going. And of course the X5 M, and then the M3. M3 is needing some tires. Not too bad, but I'm probably have to do some shopping. I'm looking at probably another set of PS4S. I was hoping that there was a 5, the PS5S would be out by this point, but I may just end up settling. All right, so here we go. You know, there's something about a new car, just how it feels. Right now, the steering wheel just feels nice and just smooth. You know, mine and my cars are just, I always had to keep cleaning them to remove all the oils, and they seem to accumulate a lot faster. But one thing I do try to make sure is not to get, you know, lotions and stuff on the car if I'm going to drive it soon. So I'd rather sacrifice having dry hands than having lotion all inside the car until I get to my destination, and I'll put lotion on and exit. Ooh, something new. Give me a nice little tug. All right. Smooth. See. Engine turned off. Yeah, with that mild hybrid, I think it really helps when you're driving because you know the most people want to turn start stop off because, you know, let's be honest, it's annoying. It's so, you know, it's annoying. It wants to, you hear the crank. Sometimes the car stumbles if you catch it off guard. You know, the X5, I haven't noticed that. M3, not really, but I don't use start stop that much just because of those minor annoyances. I think my main gripe is just hearing the car crank, just that, you know, I'd rather not hear the crank, because then, you know, people look at you like, oh, did he stall out? Especially when it first came out back in 20, Lisa, I think, had a loaner BMW 320i. It was a 2012, and it sounded like people honestly thought I probably stalled the car. You know, it was an automatic transmission. The suspension and ride quality, definitely smoother. This car does have the run flats, but I feel like the suspension is slightly busy, if that makes sense. It might be a little too early to say. And looking at the tachometer, it looks like the engine turned off before I even came to a complete stop. Let me see. Yeah, now it's on. So yeah, that seamless transition always seems to help. So when you're driving and you're at that transition point before the light is, for example, you come into a stoplight or a stop sign, and just before you get that stop and you go again, you can catch the car off guard where it's just ready to turn itself off, but then you hit the gas and it turns itself on. At least the hybrid, it sort of eliminates that. So right now I'm in comfort mode, and like I said, comfort mode just feels like I'm moving around. It's not rough or jarring. It's just, I can feel it, and that could be shorter wheelbase. You know, I'm used to the X5. It's minor difference in wheelbase, but that could be it. And since we got 400 miles, BMW still recommends, which I read in the owner's manual, they're still saying 1,200 miles for break-in, despite the fact that, you know, this isn't a full M. So I was surprised to even read that. I was thinking that, okay, full M's, you're gonna think you're gonna need to see the full 1,200, maybe the non-M's, probably 600 miles. But no, they're saying just easy 1,200 miles, and then you can start to, it says, gradually increase the revs. And that totally makes total sense. You know, my Type R was 600 miles break in, and I was gentle for the first 600 miles. But then after that, I didn't just say, okay, I'm at 600 miles, let's go ahead and go full throttle and you know, beat the crap out of it. You know, it's more of, you want to gradually introduce those increased heat cycles, if that makes sense. So maybe after 600, I could start increasing the revs, hitting that 4,000 mark, occasionally hitting the 5,000 mark. After the next couple hundred, start to maybe hit a little bit more. Then maybe another 100, hit red line once. Then after that, maybe like another few hundred miles, then you can start really just pouring on the revs. I think that's a good way to break in an engine. That way the engine is going to see some high RPMs, but is also not going to be a sudden just babying it. Then you're just, boom, you're shocking it to where you're, you know, it's going to see these increased heat. So going over a few bumps. Actually, it's not too bad over these bumps. Let's try sport mode. Yeah. Sport mode is, I can definitely feel a difference. Sport mode feels like my comfort mode on, yep, the X5. Let's see, heads up display, bright. Excuse me, oops, I'm chapped. All right, so let's see how this thing idles. Well, right now the engine's off. hasn't turned on. I think something X5 last, but the same. But we'll see if the 48 volt mild hybrid can, you know, maybe the car idle a bit longer. Okay. Go ahead. Yeah, and I don't know if you can hear the exhaust note. It's not throaty. It's just sort of medium. Go ahead. You know what, guys? You jump over here at the last minute. Go ahead. Thank you. She waved. I always appreciate a wave. You know, and people, they cut you off or something, or you feel like, you know, if you let them in, all I want is a thank you. If you say thank you, all right, it means the world's awake. When you do that, I get like, okay, I didn't have to let you in. I could have just blocked you out, you know, so just say thank you, and it makes everything better. So here we're getting on the highway. Like I said, I'm not going to punch it because it is still brand new. So we can get some miles on it. That turn signal is very clicky. They changed. I prefer the older sound of the turn signal. Sounds like it's coming from the center speaker up here. Maybe we can get up here on the highway and use some adapter cruise control. Tipping just a little bit in the throttle. Looking at the reflection, I'm seeing like this car reflecting other vehicles, the wheels, the red brakes. This thing looks pretty good, especially from the side. You know, I wasn't sure how I felt about the M40, but definitely like these wheels. There is more road noise, but I said it could be to the run flats. I think when these tires wear out, I might look into something else. Let's try the adapter cruise control and see how that functions. So let's go up here and set mode, press button for activation. Okay, distance control. It's showing me as seeing the car in front of me. Let's do I can increase the, just figuring this out, guys. Apologize. So my speed is set for 79. Distance, here we go. Increase and decrease distance. And then it's showing all the cars next to me right now. It's like other BMWs. Why don't you come over here? Why don't you cut in here? It's very, this gauge cluster changed. It's very Tesla-esque how it recognizes the truck and shows a truck here. Now I got assisted driving on. So it's going to now stay in, I think it maintain its lane. Yeah, so now it's doing lane keep assist and centering. Pretty good. So let's change lanes. Let's see if I change lanes. Okay, I like that. The temporarily turned off the lane keep assist so I can change lanes. And when I put the turn signal on, it automatically accelerated for pass, which was good. And I don't know if you can see this. I'm gonna start this camera so you can see what I'm looking at here. The center gauge cluster. Looks like I did an automatic lane change right there. That's pretty cool. But you can see how the car moves in front of me. You see I'm up on a truck right now. And recognizing there's a truck is knowing the difference between a car and a truck. Let's go back to the next lane. You know, for this being, I wouldn't even call it full, you know, self-driving. I would call it very similar to Tesla's self-driving or their autopilot. This feels superior automatically. I can tell you that now. It doesn't seem very jerky. No, don't get me wrong. The Tesla system is good, but this one just seems to be more refined, if I should say. More refined. The lane changes definitely feel more natural, and how the car tracks doesn't seem to be as jerky. I noticed that when I use autopilot, Lex as a passenger can tell me when I rented those Teslas that she could feel the car jerk a little bit. Now BMW does take an extra step, because unlike the Tesla, this sensor is reading my eyes. So, and it wants me to have my hand here. The Tesla, you can fool a little bit better, and there's other hacks and stuff where people can get themselves into an accident. Next thing too is the hood. I can see almost, I got to see it all the way down, but I can see the whole hood on this X3. I can see the line where the PPF is. So that means I'm seeing the edge of the hood. So for people who are like wondering about the size of it, it's big enough to where you can have your family. It's big enough to, you should be able to comfortably store and have, you know, travel, you know, suitcases and things. But it's small enough to where it feels nimble. Once it gets broken in, I am going to take it in some turns and, you know, see what how it handles and things. One thing we did not get for the option, which is available, is the M rear differential. It was like a $1,500 option. Wasn't bad. I just didn't think that for what Lexi was using this car for, she'd never take advantage of that. Let's get me wrong, she's not going to throw in the car into some curves and, you know, like how I would probably drive it. If it was me speccing the car, I most likely probably would have picked. I probably would have picked that option. But the M differential, I'm assuming if it works like the X5, it's like a torque vectoring. It speeds up the outside wheel, and it helps to just a little bit more of a cornering feel. So it has a display. If I let go of the wheel, it's going to prompt me. See, now it's telling me. It's got the yellow lights flashing. But you know what? It's like that when I come back, we will try the traffic jam assist. So the traffic jam assist means I can be hands-free on this car. I don't have to be holding the wheel, and it can drive like that up to I think I want to say 40 something miles an hour. So we'll try that out on the way back. Let's see here, I can change my layout so I can see the torque horsepower figures here. G meter, music, obviously mode, I'm in comfort mode, miles per gallon. And I guess this cluster changes automatically. Well, if I'm not using this driving assistant mode, it automatically will just show your map, sort of your map where you're going. Anyway, see you guys at the window tint shop. Light green inside the instrument cluster. And what is now showing is and what you're doing is you're changing the modes. It wants me to get out of this mode. I had to hold the wheel now. Go traffic picked up. But when I'm below 40 miles an hour, this line turns solid green, and you press mode, and you have different ones. You can do distance for assist driving, and then there was assist driving plus. So just something a cool feature there. And I noticed on the camera, I don't see it here. I don't see it in real time, but I noticed on the GoPro, I could see the flashing, the lights. So I can see it almost like reading my eyesight, make sure I'm paying attention. X5, or sorry, I said X5, actually X3. Going back now. Tell you what, the car looks pretty good. Pulling it back now. All right, so here at Stealth Tint again. Now, if you remember, I brought the Type R here. I like it because for flexible for my schedule. They do walk-ins, and they do a good job. They're an Xpel dealer, and kind of did the same thing I did with Type R. I'm doing the Xpel XR PLus, 15%, all windows. And then including windshield, except the windshield I'm going to 70%. So I'm still getting protection on 360 degrees. And I know some people may say, well, why are you tinting the rear windows? They already come tinted from the factory. That's true, but that's all there is, just tint. There is hardly any UV protection in there. So that coupled with the UV protection and adding in the sunshades, I think it'll be pretty much black out those windows. Anyway, I'm gonna check and see the progress. It's been working for a little bit, so let's see what they got. All right. Thank you for allowing me to.
Yeah, sure. I'll move out of your way.
You're fine. All right, so looks like they're about to work on the windshield. Front windows look great. Rear windows are done. Like I said, it's just good to add in the rear glass, so get that extra protection. So it looks great so far. I'm gonna step out their way and let them continue to work. But I just wanted to take a quick look, especially how you see the windshields, how clear it is now, and go from there. And just like that, window tint is done. It looks good. I think the tint really sets off the car. You can see it just now with all the shadow line. I think it really looks good. So like I said, if you missed it in the video, 70% here, 15%, 15%. Actually, the rest of the car is all 15%. Like I said, it even did over on top of the rest. Now, the black interior, it's going to look really dark because black interior, you really can't see the seats. Now, if I had a light color seat, a red color seat, it wouldn't appear as dark as this. So, when you get into the car first time after not having window tint, it feels dark. It feels really dark in here. But I think she'll like it. I think she'll like the increased privacy.